Deshaun Cullen, aka Monte Ellis, that's what I go by. This is my second year playing AU. AU basketball is amateur athletic union. It's really just travel basketball. You travel all around the United States, try to qualify for AU Nationals.
Hi, I'm Donita Cullen, and my son is Deshaun Cullen. My son participating in the Georgia Shock program was our first experience with AAU basketball.
Georgia Shock program, I didn't really get nothing but some KDs and a shooting shirt.
I would say the one thing that he gained from playing with Georgia Shock was just the experience of being in an AAU program.
I guess you can say, no, you couldn't use. They didn't really teach me nothing, honestly.
I would say I got a little bit of confidence, and he helped me with some of my rebounding.
I had a number of feelings about the Georgia Shock program.
There were some things that concerned me as far as the communication between the parents and the coaching staff.
How I feel about the communication, it sucked.
I thought the communication was one of the biggest problems we had.
We were calling all over different parents to try to find out information on timing.
We really didn't have parent meetings. There wasn't someone that could run interference and give us the information that we needed. So that was the biggest problem that I had with the program.
They were not about the kids. They were only about making money for themselves.
When I played with Georgia Shock, it cost around $500. With the $500, you got maybe a book bag, some shoes, a warm-up jersey, and some socks. They didn't give you a jersey or nothing.
I don't feel like that particular program, was fair.
Organization, it was unorganized.
I am Kimmy Hartman. It took a long time for OST Elite to develop.
We all just got together and was like, we should have an AU team.
One day after a game, I think, it was during the summer, and we was talking about making the team since we didn't want to be on Georgia Shock no more.
We had to recruit players.
I was contacted, and he asked me if I wanted to play for OST, and I said yes.
Convinced the coaches to make OST Elite.
Kept on convincing the coaches that are now coaching right now to start one at the Boys and Girls Club.
And, just get everything done, everything registered.
The head coach of OST Elite is Daniel Hall.
My name is Daniel Hall, and I am the coach of OST Elite.
Oh, I love Daniel.
The relationship between me and Daniel is like a big brother.
For one, I feel that Daniel loves basketball. I can see the passion that he has with basketball, but I can also see the passion that he has with coaching with these boys.
I love the way he leads it. I love his friendship and his relationship with the boys.
He's a really good coach, and he has a caring heart for the kids.
They're able to express themselves, but there's still a connection there. There's still respect there for who is over them, and who they've got to answer to, and how they're growing. It's so evident in the times when they play. They have fun, but they're growing while they're doing it.
He's known most of these boys for years, and he cares for them. He's tough, and he commands their respect as a coach, but he can also relate to them on a friendlier level, on a more friendship level.
It's a closer relationship than many coaches.
Well, OST Elite started as an idea. The name actually started from myself and a guy named Devin Jones. I'll give him all the credit. He came up with the name OST. OST stands for Other Side of the Tracks. And it was just a name that was, created, to talk junk to everybody that lived on this side of the tracks. So it was just a name that started. But the OST Elite was a team idea that was started maybe a couple summers ago. Well, the OST Elite program stands for, the ultimate team success. We really don't want any ahs, me's, and stuff like that. We also believe in the motto team. Together everyone achieves more. We also agree in that everybody should sacrifice one thing or a couple things to make the team successful.
How do I feel about the OST Elite program? I love it.
With OST, I've learned to just have a better reading and understanding of the game.
I'm very excited about OST Elite because it already feels different than the other experience I had with AAU basketball prior to this. The communication, for one. We get the information, it seems, as soon as the coaches get the information. There's more of an open door policy, so if we have questions or concerns, we can go to the coach and ask those and not feel like, okay, I can't communicate with them, so I'm not going to get anything back from them. The players, the boys seem happy. They're playing with people they know, they're playing with their friends, but there's still that competitive component. And I think because they know each other, it helps push that even further.
I felt like I had another outlet, and I had a better place to be to play basketball.
I learned how to stay under control and just play.
I've learned to keep calm while I'm on the court and let things come to me. I've learned how to be a leader.
Just going in and finding out, what the program was about is wonderful.
I've learned really how to just slow the game down. I'm also learning the fundamentals that I didn't have at Georgia Shock or anywhere else. They're just teaching me all the stuff that I needed to know.
I've gained a sense of confidence while I've been playing with OST Elite.
I had like a partial tear MCL. Basically, the knee had messed me up, so I can't play AAU this season with OST Elite. It all started like when I was playing for Douglas County High School, and we had a game against Lithia Spring High School.
When he first went down, I didn't think he was hurt at first, but then he fell and he's on the ground. And I was like, okay, he's not getting up. I was like, all right, this is serious.
I had got a steal or whatever, and I thought the dude was at half court, and I was already at the free throw line. And then I think I planted at an angle on my left knee, and then he had hip checked me or bumped me really hard, and my knee, shifted out of place, and I was down.
I just felt like, wow, how did this happen to him so fast in just the first game of the season?
Man, it was heartbreaking. Khalil was one of the biggest assets of our team because he was really a hybrid player. He could play anything he wanted to. So, it hurt.
It was kind of sad seeing him go down like that. I had to get surgery or whatever it requires, and I'll be fully healed in May.
Before we went to the Georgia Shock tournament, I really wanted, selfishly, I wanted the Georgia Shock team to be in it, first of all. But due to uncertain circumstances, they weren't in it. But I wanted those guys to, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted those guys to get revenge. That's one of the first things we said when we talked about that we were going to get into their tournament and play. So that was one of the big things that we wanted to get out of this tournament, was to get some sort of revenge and plus win it all. If we wanted to play them in the championship. That was our mindset going into the tournament.
Just because of Deshaun's personality, he's played in situations in other competitive sports where he's had to play against a former team and a former coach. And so one of the things that I've always taught him is not to get wrapped up in that, because then your emotions take over and you make mistakes. So you just go and you just play the game that you have to play now.
I'm just coming to basically win the Georgia Shock tournament. Just show JP and them what all they missed out on.
Yes, I do think that the game is going to be a big one for him.
I'm going to take it as a big game for me because, that's just basically where I'm coming from. So I'm just trying to really just show them up.
I feel good about him playing in the tournament.
I feel a sense of competitive vengeance, and I think it'll be fun to get back to business against my old team.
I think that the competition is going to be there. I think that it'll give him a chance to show maybe some of the other coaches from his old team that may have, in a way, taken his talent for granted, what he can do, because they'll be basically on the outside looking in at him.
I expect us to win the whole tournament.
I want my son team to be a role model, so they could show Georgia Shock the true meaning of a basketball team.
I can't wait to the tournament. I think we're going to play good. I just can't wait and ball out.
Well, going into the Georgia Shock tournament, I feel like I have to prove something, and I need a little bit of revenge, but I won't let that get into the way of playing the game and winning, bring home a win.
I hope that once the boys begin to play in the tournament, that they really blow it out of the water and show Georgia Shock that, hey, this is what you missed, and here I am now.
During the first game of the Georgia Shock tournament, we came out great. Came out, played great basketball. We went with the press. We said this tournament we're gonna start out with a press. So the press caused a little trouble. We got out to a great early lead, and everybody played well in that game. Everybody played great. That was probably the best game that we played during that tournament. During the second game of the Georgia Shock tournament, that was the rough game. That we came out sloppy. The team went up 25-0 on us, and we dug a big hole. And I think that was the part where a lot of the guys didn't trust anymore because we were so down in the hole. So we fought back, and we only ended up being down 7, which at one point we had the game cut down to, I believe, about 5 points. So we were still there. It just wasn't enough time, and if we hadn't had that sluggish start, we wouldn't have been in that position. During the third game of the Georgia Shock tournament, we kind of knew what we had to do to get to the championship, which for us, that's normally how we operate with our team. Like, we went over, me and one of Levante, we went over all the scenarios of how we can get into the championship, and we knew what the game plan was, and we knew what we had to do to get to the championship. So that game, we all, came together and, did what we had to do to get the job done to get to the championship game. During the championship game, we played the East Cobb Playmakers, and they were the team that had beat us by 7 that we had lost to prior to the game, prior to the championship game. So we were looking to get a little bit of revenge on those guys, and that game was, up and down, back and forth. We were countering the 3-pointers. They would hit a 3, we come back, hit a 3. They come back down and hit a shot. We come back down and hit a shot. So it was back and forth.
Then the championship game, we started off real good, but then towards the end, everybody just started falling off.
As the clock went down, we can kind of sense that, the game was over. And, even us coming back to the tournament, we really wanted to win it. On the better night, that team won. So all the credit goes to those guys, for East Cobb Playmakers, for their win. But like I said, we really wanted it, and I'm proud of my guys. Like I always tell them, at the end of the day, those 11 guys, I wouldn't want to go to war with anybody else but with those guys, because I've seen them grow up from, seen them basically to develop their game of basketball. And I felt like this was my opportunity. This season is my opportunity to get my hands on the coaching those guys, because I think they all have something special. They may not realize it now, but that if they just work hard, the sky's the limit.
I, 'cause, 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 '
Who are you? She froze already.
Oh, that's right. I don't like this.
Who are you?
I am Khalil Waters. Now quit smiling at me, man. Quit smiling at me.
I'm Khalil Waters. All right, say.
What you want me to say?
Like,
I am Khalil Waters.
no, but Khalil Waters.
I had another team. Oh, okay. Ask me a question again.
What position do you play in basketball?
I play all positions.
What position do you prefer playing in basketball?
Point guard.
What position do you play in the game?
I play power forward and center.